Okay, is this thing going? Let's get the show on the road. Let's get the TV working. If I hit this orange button, I think it'll refresh for me automatically. So, is this working? Just waiting to make a good confirmation of sound. And I'm not seeing anything yet. I assume we're going. Anyway, what's up? This is Dave. This is What's Up Dave, and I am here on Thursday evening. It's 8 p.m. January, whatever today is, the 11th. And this is my stream where I catch up with my friends on the internet. And if you've been tuning in for the last few really boring streams, it's been primarily a week of getting servers moved around, or rather my web server, that is. And let me get this thing back going. And I've been largely preoccupied with all these technical things. So I'm just kind of, because I've been like so deeply buried in doing this technical stuff, I haven't been like, it's hard for me even to form sentences and remember what I'm doing. So I'm going to try to get organized again for tomorrow. Today it was mostly just little cleanup things, and also some soft kickoffs for some new projects. Let me switch to the regular cam. I got some stuff fixed on my computer, rolled back a version of the macro key utility that allows me to use this thing to control scenes. There's a version, and there's a bug in the latest version of it, and I had to roll back 2 versions to restore functionality. But that's working. But some of the things I'm working on right now with the soft kickoffs are my friend Alan, his Toybox DX site. He wants to relaunch it. And so we're going to look at ways of to create the collections. There's some new web platforms that I'm not very familiar with. One of them is called Aneki, something like that. So we can find it. So unbeknownst to me, which there are software blogging tools, or let's say online content management systems, are designed for digital museums, collecting of things. It's Aneki? Let's see, what was it called again? History. I can't believe I've already forgot what the name of it was. I guess I can go look in my, what was it called? Well, the other one was called Scalar. That's one. This apparently is software that allows you to create something like what I wanted to do with my thought processing software design, in which you can create little chunks of media and you can make it do stuff.
When does an electronic book become an
So you can create these multiple paths through it. Well, that's going on. Let me look at this over here. See if we can go find this thing that I was looking for. What's the name of that?
Introducing Scalar, a new platform for scholarly publishing that combines the focus of the ebook with the rich connectedness of a website. Scalar moves beyond linear blogs and ebooks, enabling both non-technical and tech-savvy authors alike to create evocative online publications that explore their subjects in rich and engaging ways.
So the cool thing about this is it allows you to create like essentially nuggets of content on a website and be able to string them together through a navigational path, and then you can annotate them as well. And they can handle a bunch of different rich media. Apparently, I can't tell if this is actively being developed anymore, though. I tried to sign up for this thing, and you need a registration key. There's no obvious way of getting a registration key. I did finally just searched for it. Look right over here. And so I sent a way for registration key to see if I get something back. I tried downloading the latest release of it, installing the computer on my computer, there's some bug in it that I can't get to work, and I'm not in the mood to like figure out how to use software like this. This is not designed for easy deploying. It's the sort of thing that you install and maintain like an engine in a ship. This Omeka thing seems also very interesting. There's a hosted version of it, but you can download it as well, I believe. You can go to omeka.com maybe. It's not very reassuring. But it just costs money. I think there's a free version or a trial version. But I just want to see what this is like. But apparently you can make collections of stuff, but there's not a whole lot of people doing stuff that I can find. In the showcase, there's more stuff on this. Let's see, we could find, it seems to integrate with a number of different digital tools, like there's a map module. Let's see if they have a collection. So it's a content management system for, I guess, looking at these various objects. And it has some plugins to do these map things. But it looks kind of like a fork of WordPress almost, or it's very, very CMS like. It doesn't look like anyone's doing anything super cool with this. But yeah, so this is something that like a soft kickoff on this. Another thing I've been looking at is I actually I'm going to be doing some project management for another project. And for this project, I've usually been doing the development work on it, but I said I would take the initial project management push just to get everything organized and try some approaches to it. So I'm actually on the lookout now for different kinds of project management software. It's been a while since I've had to use some. In fact, I've let all of my subscriptions to the various project management services lapse. So I'm trying to figure out the best way of doing it. I suppose what I could do is I could just like right now just make some notes on it. So like if I switch back over here, let's unbignify this. Let's go into best practices. Let's see, do I have an existing project management note? It doesn't look like it, so let's make one. We'll call this project management. Actually, I could even just make a separate project for this in Quiver. So what do I need out of the project management? Essentially, we need to have dates, deliverables, expectations, motivation, resources, budgets, people. We also need to keep track of decisions. We have pre-production, exploration. We have documentation management. Right now, what are the decisions? First task is to get the brief and meeting notes. Let's just put this in a bunch of numbers. We also need to create a technical design plan, and from this create a technical design document. And the plan, what we have is, that's interesting. That's not how it's supposed to work. Can I not do indented? Okay, that's how you do it. So one of the first things we need to do is make a list of requirements from the brief. These are technical requirements. Make a concise description of the project. Goals. Make a script, like a list of the metrics for success. Make a list of dates and deliverables. Create a decision log. Figure out how to report what critical information needs to go to the right people. Track progress. Track and document progress so it can be measured for time, use, analyzed for other easily rebuilt in the future for similar projects. These are the kind of things I want to be able to do. I also store common reference documents in a way that's easy to reference and annotate. Keep track of all of this outside of email. Because email, maybe you can put it in Basecamp, I suppose. So that's kind of like a starter list of things I want to think about. So most of this is a writing task. These are all writing tasks. And so this will produce a document. So then after this phase, we also want to start playing or rediscovering, researching the various tools. Come up with tests to evaluate them. And come up with an engineering plan. And it all has to fit within about, how many hours? 2,000. About 200, is that right? About 1,000 hours. No, about 500 hours. I think that's what we're talking about. 400 is probably better. I think that's it for now. This project is net create, pilot, and so that's what's on my mind for that. What else is it? Which gets me down to thinking about what productivity is. I've been working on that taskless, timeless productivity system. Although this past week, since I've been so busy with the server transition, I haven't worked on it at all. So I'm going to quickly just review my document for this. I should be able to find it. Where did I keep that? It would be XDS Cowork in our virtual co-working chat room document store. And in my projects data productivity 2018, the last thing I worked on it was at the bottom of this. What is concrete? How to store the stuff? I probably should review this. I'm going to spend 5 minutes for just reviewing this. Let me set this timer. I'm going to rewrite this and try to distill it. Ideally, I get this down to the point where I can just, there's not as much words, so I can just read a paragraph and remember where one has left off. I am designing a replacement personal productivity system. Goal, replacement personal productivity system. The new system does not have because why? Because time spent on tracking that doesn't actually help me get the work done. If I were making a business, then task, time management, work with other people becomes part of communications. Working solo, I don't have this quite a bit. So the first one, metrics. I didn't like how that. Key metric is making beautiful and useful things. So I am not engaged in making or in an activity that results in or supports the making of beautiful / useful things. I'm not being productive. The key measurement activity, productive, the key measurement of productivity is how many VUTs I make in a day. If I don't make a VUT, I didn't know better than acronyms. It's how many butts I make. Such an ugly acronym for a beautiful idea. Day. Or how many sub-butts need to support feature makings. wish I could shrink this down. I wonder if we can do that. Can we do this? I guess the question is whether I can, expand it so I can see what it looks like. That was only 5 minutes. Let's keep going. Can I link to this someplace else? Oh well. Let's see. Let's see. This is the nature of these metrics. What are the elements of making, or what are the motivations for making a but? Feeling the need. What do I like about this? So there's it's in the second document. To what to do with really useful things. My goal is to accrue items of my main activity because I think this will make me feel productive. The result, as this results in tangible success. This is the artist stage of development. 2 forks that lead to opportunity and revenue. Opportunity. So these first 4. And then what do they do? There's the idea of the accrual bucket. This is where we're getting into the system design. Basic idea, put something in the accrual bucket every day. Either a finished thing or storing some good process notes, tools that were made. Help make a finished thing. So there's a bucket. So these are the system components. And then up here, these are more about deconstructed kinds of process. This is kinds of process. In the accrual bucket. This is a collection, or there's processes and collections. Accrual bucket, gallery works. There's also a process notebook. So, what happened? A process bucket, I guess. A lab notebook. So we have an accrual bucket, we have a, maybe like instead of accrual bucket, this is like an output bucket or collections bucket and a process collections bucket. Yeah, okay, so I'm at the stage in which I think I actually need to sit down and start drawing a bunch of stuff. I could write about this all day, but this is just going to be me and for about 45 minutes just thinking it through somewhere. And I need a much bigger table to work on than this little tiny thing I have. So I think that's going to be it for today. I mean, I'm just kind of gathering my thoughts again. Again, just trying not to think of too much about everything at once. So I'm going to grab this, take a look at this. Let's take a look. So over here. Let me just look at my checkoff stuff. Server backup, did do that. Did not do the production of sticky pads. Did not start project map for netcreate. Probably text doesn't do any of those. I can do the Patreon mega download. Yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to have to pick one of these things and move forward on it and just get that get it out of the way. And that is as much planning as I'm going to do about it. So I'm just going sort of freeform here, trying to see how well that works out for me. So the goal is to eventually have a system where I don't have to think so much about like how fast am I working or how many things I have to do to get to the end process. I'm just going to chip away at stuff and assume, probably rightly, that most things will just take care of themselves if I keep working and I keep working to put something in that bucket. Rather than like, I'm just going to read something and that will help that'll prepare me for actually doing something. No, the emphasis is on making something and putting it in there. And I think that drive to do that, to put something tangible into a bucket of some kind, I think that will result in better feelings toward productivity. And once I have confirmed that, or assuming that that's confirmed to be true or not, then figuring out how to make a system out of it that's maybe more accountable would be the next step. But in the meantime, I'm just playing around with this stuff, not even using the ETP because I'm not planning my days like that. I think there might be a different kind of structure. So this is part of the expansion of the various planner forms and things like this. It'd be nice to be able to have a number of different approaches that work for different people at different stages of their career. The ETP is good if you have like I think like a set bunch of tasks that you do every day. More of a schedule. Right now, the only schedule I want to be on is the schedule of being creative, and I don't want to put as little structure around it as possible. If it even works, that would be amazing. If it doesn't work, I wouldn't be surprised, and I would have to go back to the ETP or some other tracking system to see whether or not discipline is a necessary part of it. The kind of discipline I'm trying to avoid right now by having this taskless, timeless system is the idea that to be disciplined, you have to make a list of things in the morning, do each thing one after the other, and don't stop until it gets to the end. Another form of discipline is only to pick the number of things that you can do in a day, rather than fret about not getting all these other things done. That might be the actual best balanced system, now that I think about it. But let me try running open loop first without any checks other than putting something in this bucket, and see how that plays out. So that's today's What's Up Dave. Another boring one. Although I understand that Roger likes these because there's this noise behind him when he's like working on stuff that he gets to hear someone else working on stuff. I guess I'm surprisingly tired. I seem to be getting better from my cold, at least. I haven't been coughing as much as I was before. On the other hand, I've eaten a whole lot of throat drops today, and I think it's making me sick. So I gotta feed the cat and just go to sleep, actually, and just sleep for like 10 hours and see if that puts me in a good state to start off tomorrow, like with a burst of energy. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.